Welcome to Meet the Docs with your host, Grant Otten, brought to you by Columbus Community Hospital.
Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Meet the Docs, brought to you by the Columbus Community Hospital. I'm Grant Otten, and I'm joined by Dr. Cimpl today. Doctor, how are you doing?
Good morning. Yeah, thank you for being here.
Yeah, so we're chatting. You've been here for quite a while. It's over 30 years now. We're approaching, close to 35 or something like that?
I started August 23rd, 1983.
So it's been a while. What's kind of the growth been like here in Columbus? Because in the past, I saw about 5 years or so, it's really expanded quickly.
A lot, yeah. I think when I started in 1983, there were 16 active physicians on staff at that time.
That's crazy, and it's much expanded since then. And talking about your origins here in Columbus, you were the first orthopedic doctor here in town. What was kind of that journey like, and why did you end up deciding to do that? Because that's a big step.
You know, I grew up in a small town in Tabor, South Dakota, just close to Yankton on Lewis and Clark Lake. The smaller community appealed to me. I went off to undergrad training at Creighton University in Omaha, and then medical school also at Creighton. Kind of followed the Missouri River down from Yankton to Omaha, and then I wanted to do orthopedics, so I did my fellowship or residency in orthopedic surgery at St. Louis University. So again, I followed the Missouri River down.
Yeah.
I like the city. I probably like the Italian food more than anything, but I like the city, but I just felt this urge to come back, stay in the Midwest, go back to a smaller community. My family had moved in the 1970s to Columbus. My dad owned Columbus Hydraulics and helped develop that. And so although I didn't go to school here, it really wasn't home. They were here. And Columbus was a community of about 20,000 people at that time. They did not have an orthopedic surgeon, which was nerve-wracking for me to come here, but it appealed to me, and the family was here, and it kind of just made sense. Although it was really nerve-wracking to start a practice, including the business side of a practice. We're trained in medicine to take care of patients. We really don't get much training in starting up a business, securing loans, hiring and firing. So it was an interesting time for me in 1983, but it progressed well.
Yeah, what was it kind of like at the beginning and bringing on doctors and working with doctors here in town? What was that kind of experience like to start?
Interesting, a very good question. I started there were some truly general practitioners, I would call them. They were really country doctors that were still practicing when I came here in 1983. I think of Dr. Ron Anderson, Dr. Herbert Cooper, Dr. Heiser was a great mentor for me to help me. He had two sons that were orthopedic surgeons, so he understood the orthopedic practice. Dr. Soika and Dr. Liebentritt were still practicing then, so there were some really special physicians in the surgical side that were very helpful to me starting out my career, and made it easier for me to relate to the community and to the operating room staff. It was very helpful.
I'm sure looking back now, it seems like that time has kind of flown by since when you first started to where you guys are at now with the growth you've had. But what's it like now seeing all this new staff being brought on and seeing the growth that you guys, especially here in the past year or a couple of years, you guys have added some new staff and you're really growing under your leadership here.
Well, I don't know if it was my leadership. I would give credit to the hospital administration. It's been exciting to watch and to be part of. I always had this fear when I was in my 30s that I'd wake up at age 55 and still be by myself in practice and have worked too hard and for too long. But along the way, I had several partners that came to Columbus, and 6 years ago we had Dr. Mike McGuire, then Dr. Ed Feringer came on, Dr. Ian Crabb, and Dustin Volkman came a few years ago. So we went from 1 to 5 orthopedic surgeons. We're certainly expanding our service line in orthopedics. Much better coverage, and I think we're all enjoying a little bit, particularly me, a little better quality of life and not having to put in so many hours.
So when you're talking about growing the clinic and having the 5 staff members and the growth you had here, what's it like being able to have different specialties and be able to focus on certain patients?
It's a huge advantage for me, but even more so for the patients. If I would do a knee arthroscopy and I got into a situation where there were a more complex ligament issue, I could rely on Dr. Volkmer, my partner, who does an excellent job in sports medicine. If there's a hand case that's more complicated, Dr. Crabb is here It's nice to consult with him when we need him, and even to refer cases that I think that he should handle. He has more expertise than I do in hand cases. And the same with shoulders and elbows with Dr. Farringer. Dr. McGuire does similar work that I do with total knees and hips, adult reconstructive surgery. But he also has a secondary expertise in bone tumors. So if I have an x-ray that looks a little bit different that I may think, and I'm pretty confident I know it is, it's always nice to say, hey, Mike, come look at this, and just to get his opinion to reassure what we're thinking and how we're approaching treatment. It's a great advantage to have 4 great partners, and podiatry. Dr. Bohr has done an excellent job in providing foot and ankle care for the patients we see.
Perfect. Well, Dr. Cimpl, appreciate it.
Thank you for your time. Thanks for coming.
Thank you too. And thank you guys again for tuning in as well. I appreciate Dr. Cimpl sitting down with me. I'm Grant Otten. We'll see you next time on Meet the Docs.